yes, because obviously it does that with Skype. It's like, what?
Oh,
What are you laughing?
by the way, hi everybody. Welcome to the Digmcast.
Oh wait, did you start just as I did that?
I did start just as you did that. As you can see, derpy shit goes on in the background while we're getting ready. So, as usual.
Oh well. I guess we're starting with that.
I guess we're starting. As usual, I'm joined by my co-hosts Mike Matrix.
Hello.
And my pink bunny.
Hello.
So, the show has taken a hiatus. I had some real life stuff going on. Sorry about that. Anyways, we'll get going. We've got some interesting topics for the show, I think. The first one we want to start off with, and to be honest, Mike was the first one that told me about this, and he was absolutely geeking out when he told me. He's geeking out now. So, Half-Life 3 has been trademarked. It happened, folks. It actually happened.
Which means they're actually working on it, probably. So, there's no timeline nor any announcement yet. But, I mean, we've seen... the last time we actually had the podcast, we talked about Left 4 Dead 3 based on the Source 2 engine, which sort of indicated, hey, they're maybe working on Half-Life 3.
Yeah, that was definitely something we were curious about.
I'm just saying this is probably the confirmation of Half-Life 3. Maybe it's gonna take a year. Maybe it's gonna take 1.5 years. Who knows? But it's definitely something they're working on.
So no one else can take it.
Who's really gonna take it? Here's what I think. I can't remember who said it today on the TeamSpeak chat, and we'll touch on this in a minute. Steam's got a lot of other big news this week. Possibly something to launch alongside the Steam Box.
Maybe.
Possibly.
And this new Steam controller as well.
It would certainly make sense. I mean, Half-Life, I know there's Team Fortress and Portal and all that, but Half-Life really is Steam's strongest property in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I agree. And honestly, it would make a lot of sense to sort of release it with the Steam Box as something that is officially one of the first things that's supported on there.
Yeah. It's like
the same point.
It's like launching a Nintendo console with Mario, or Microsoft launching with Halo.
Yeah, exactly.
So, for my part, go ahead, Mike.
And I'm really pumped because, as you might know, I'm a little bit Half-Life geek. So,
is it bad that I've never played Half-Life?
Yes, it's very bad.
You have to play it. I mean, Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2, and all the episodes, all of it. Also,
I don't even own it, so that
leave the chat right now and go play Half-Life, you heathen.
Yes.
I don't even own it. Someone wants to buy me Half-Life, then sure.
For God's sakes, I think which one do they give you free? I know you get Portal free and you get Team Fortress free on Skype. Don't they give you a Half-Life? Or not Skype, Steam.
No, you don't get Portal free.
No, I don't think Half-Life is free. However, by the way,
I brought Portal.
If you're gonna play Portal, realize it is in the Half-Life universe.
Yes, it is. There's a lot of nods in that game.
A lot of shit that is references directly to Half-Life, and it's amazing.
Big one being the ship, the dry dock.
Yeah. The Borealis in Portal 2 being missing. Holy shit. I can't wait until they finally release Half-Life 3, okay? That is going to be awesome because I wait for the conclusion of that. I'm so pumped for this.
I know. I'm watching Bonnie's eyes glaze over.
Maybe they'll just make a Half-Life 4 and a Half-Life 7. Do you know what I mean? Maybe
no, actually, they planned for 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, it's true.
Those are the ones that they want to do. And they sort of pushed in Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Episode 2. I'm not quite 100% sure if they made the Episode 3, which they initially planned, into Half-Life 3.
Be interesting to find out.
Yeah, definitely.
My big thing is I really hope and it's going to be hard, to keep the standard that they've had, because one thing and Bunny, I guess not having played Half-Life, you wouldn't know really, but one thing that's really amazing about the Half-Life universe and the games in general is you have a silent protagonist, Gordon Freeman, who never says a word, and yet it's got an incredible story and absolutely incredible characters. Not to mention one of the only AI-controlled sidekicks in all of gaming who is not only likable, but not a complete idiot.
Yes. I mean, sorry, but Alex is just amazing character in Half-Life 2. really good. And I mean, he is silent, and they actually mention you being the quiet guy.
Yeah.
And it's really funny when you play that, and you're like, well, duh.
So which one of you want to buy me Half-Life so I can play it?
I'll consider it.
Joking.
Consider it. But I will want proof. You'll need to do it. You'll actually need to do a YouTube playthrough for me, so I know you're playing the game.
That's very true. I probably could do that now with my YouTube channel starting. So
Actually,
yeah.
Mike, is Black Mesa complete? Because Black Mesa's free, isn't it?
Yeah, Black Mesa is free. Although, honestly, I would say play Half-Life 1.
In the way it's meant to be played?
Yeah. I mean, they take artistic liberty with Half-Life, with Black Mesa Source.
I remember playing the original Half-Life I'm going to date myself, but in college, and how blown away we all were with that game, because it was doing things that had never been done with a shooter, like the scripted events, and, I mean, it was the first time you ever played a shooter, and the first half hour of the game, you don't even have a weapon, let alone fire a weapon. So it's just straight story setup, and it's amazing. It's an amazing game. I'm so happy Half-Life 3 is coming along.
Yes.
So.
With that, actually, we could potentially lead up to Steam's big week of new things.
Yes, I absolutely think we should.
AKA the Steam OS Steam Box, which is actually called Steam Machine, by the way.
Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah, it's called Steam Machine. And the Steam controller.
I want it to be called Steam Engine, because Steam Engine would be so much better and so much more ironic.
Steam Engine.
Exactly, called Steam Engine, for fuck's sake.
I'm not so sure about that, Bunny. I don't know.
No.
Or Steam Wheel?
Machine makes sense.
Steam Wheel.
Come on! They've got a perfect name to do anything train related. Come on!
You're really just reaching now is what you're doing. I mean, you're just trying to find something.
Yes, SteamOS is something I'm interested in because it's sort of this indie platform in a way as well.
Yeah, I've got it up in the background.
Because it's powered on Steam, so and you have like Steam Greenlight, which allows you to make your game and say, hey, is anybody actually interested in buying this in mass? And if people are interested, they're actually like putting it on Steam. So
yeah.
I still like the way the Steam's going to be built on Linux. It's not going to be built on like a default software. It's going to be built on Linux.
Which had this amazing side effect of us suddenly having Steam for Linux.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Steam is on all three major platforms currently. It's on Windows, Mac, and Linux.
Well, you know, Gabe really likes Linux, so...
Yeah,
yes, he does. And I mean, it makes sense for SteamOS to be built on that, because building it from ground, stupid idea. Building it on Windows, well, have fun with all those licenses.
Yeah, no shit.
And Mac is probably even worse. They probably don't even want it to be built on Mac. They're just saying that don't fuck that. Linux is open source. Hell, do whatever you want.
Basically.
Yeah, and they can customize it to what they want, and do you know what I mean? And I think Linux is very good for that, for building new OS systems and.
Well, it is OS. You just build on what's already there, and it's supported. It's gonna get updates that are verified through Steam, and then just pushed up if there's something in Linux changing.
They're going in some interesting directions too. In-home streaming. Play your Windows and Mac games on the OS machine, stream them over your network to your TV. One thing that intrigues me is music, TV, and movies. Now, here's my take on it. And I have a Wii U, I had a Wii, I have a 360, and it's got the Netflix and blah, blah, blah on it. I actually don't use those services that much, so...
The interesting thing will be... The interesting thing will be, where are they going with this? Do they actually want to provide like media center capabilities with this?
Yeah. Based
around games? Like not as the core element, but actually like you have the games and then Steam says like, hey, we could actually go and provide our own media center capabilities like music streaming and video streaming.
I think one thing they need to be careful of though is for the Steam box at least, and we talked about this with the PS4 and Xbox One a few weeks ago, well, a month ago. But
yeah, it
gaming
needs to
maintain
still
the
focus.
because even more so than Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, gaming is the very heart of Valve and Steam. And if they go away from that,
okay, seriously, I don't think they're gonna lose focus for that. Also, my camera just froze again for whatever reason.
It can't handle the awesomeness.
Yeah, I'm too awesome for my camera.
There you
whatever.
go.
Also, there's been out released recently with Steam that they're doing the family sharing.
Yes.
So like you can share with your friends too. So like you can give your friends access to your account, and like say if I wanted to play a game on Dime's account and he wanted to play one of mine, we could switch. And
Not
then
happening.
if Dime wanted to play the same game I'm playing, he'd go, well, I'm going to kick you off now, but you can do the same thing, which I think is quite interesting, especially with people like gaming communities and stuff, that not everyone has to have the game now, that people can try out the game beforehand.
I mean, the thing is, it sort of brings back the way it was previously, where you buy a game, you have the copy, like, back in the days. Mm-hmm. And when somebody says, hey, I sort of don't know if I want this game, can you sort of lend this to me for a while? And you just gave them to them, and later on you get it back.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
What do you guys, and we'll move to the control in a moment, what do you guys think about their so-called eligibility quest that they're doing?
Yeah, I think that was interesting. It's finished the other day, but like you had to do certain things, like befriend someone on Steam, like you have to do like play with a controller through the big box, and like 300 people were picked.
It says, so here it is, the hardware beta eligibility quest. Before October 25th, log into Steam and then visit your quest page to track your current status, blah, blah. Join the Steam Universe community group, agree to the hardware beta terms and conditions, make 10 Steam friends, create a public Steam community profile, and play a game using a gamepad in big picture mode. So the last one is very specific, and I can understand why, obviously, but it's interesting the way that they're going to do this, because what it says is once you finish all the steps, you get a badge which puts you into the pool that they'll choose to be beta participant testers or beta participants and hardware recipients, and I think they're doing 300 boxes to Steam users for testing.
Yep.
So it's it's a very Valve, very Steam way to do things. You wouldn't catch any other companies doing it, so I think it's interesting, but...
Yeah, and it's also showing
good,
people what other things Steam offer as well. Like, not many people use Big Picture either at the moment, so like it's getting them to use Big Picture. It's getting them to look at new things that Valve got implemented over the past year. So
yeah, they've been leading up to this for a while. If you look at the moves they've been making,
but honestly, people aren't really like. Are people really not using Big Picture? Because I am. If I'm playing a game with my controller, I'm probably playing in Big Picture.
I'm not, for the simple fact that the computer is a long way from the TV, and I'm perfectly happy with my monitor. So
that's okay, but I really like that the control, like choosing a game with your controller is nice.
Yeah,
I actually do that when I feel like I want to play a game on my control. So I open Big Picture mode. Yeah. I like it.
I can see it, especially platformers and stuff. You know, we've gone over that in the past, but yeah. Now, speaking of controllers, that brings us to this lovely little thing, and I have heard positive feedback and insanely negative feedback about this controller. So let's just go around and see what everybody thinks. Also, Mike, I think you've been duplicated somehow. So everybody enjoy the double mics and double bunnies on the podcast.
How the heck do we get duplicated?
It's the screen region capture, so people can just deal with it. So
yeah.
I'll go ahead and start. For those that aren't aware, I've got the thing up right now. As you can see, there's no physical joysticks on it. It's actually a series of trackpads, and then the buttons, the Y, B, A, and X are by the trackpad, and the middle of it is a touchscreen, and then it also has triggers on the back. I think this is a neat idea. Now, I'm not bothered by the complete lack of a control stick like some people are. I attribute part of that to the fact that I have a Wii U and I use the screen a lot on it, and I have a 3DS, and I'm, used to the circle pad. I've had a DS since they came out. I'm used to, a non-traditional control method, so I'm actually looking forward to it. Especially because it looks like it has the ridges on it, so there is tactile feedback there. I'm curious about the touchscreen. That's kind of, Sony's doing it too, but we'll see how it works out. I think it looks like a really neat controller. So
Yeah, I like
Okay.
it.
Okay, as a developer, I'm fucking pumped for this because it's amazing. They have put so much thought into it. If you scroll up to the picture again,
I'm on the
um,
Portal 2 bindings right now, but I'll go back up to the picture. There we go.
yeah, you see like the two little trackpads, and not only is it like, hey, this is a trackpad, and you sort of replace the joystick with it. It's also like you see the multiple circles. It actually you can, as far as I read, you can query for if how far out your thumbs are. So you can actually do something like when you usually use a sprint key, you can actually go, okay, if the thumb is over that line, you can actually just go, whoop, there you go. No need for a sprint button. I like the uniform design of the buttons. It's not really bothering me. It's actually more of a thing that I like because it left hand, right hand doesn't matter. It's symmetrical. There you go.
There you go.
And last but not least, they actually said, "Hey, this thing is hackable. You can open it up. It's designed. You can mess around with it, do whatever you like, sort of thing." And that opens up possibilities. It's amazing. I like this whole thing.
Yeah. One thing, and I'll bring this up real quick. One thing I like is if you read into it, they don't like the whole rumble idea. So the controller has haptic feedback, which the easiest example of haptic feedback is those of you that you have a touchscreen phone, and when you touch the screen, you get that tiny little vibration pulse or something that varies in strength depending on what you're doing or what the app tells it to do. That's haptic feedback. I think that could be really, really interesting because it gives them a level of control that a basic rumble couldn't. I mean, yeah, we get light rumbles and heavy rumbles on the Xbox or PlayStation 4 controller, but it's still just shaking the whole controller. This would allow them to... It's attached to the trackpad, so this would allow something to happen where I could think of an example, say, Hawken, if I'm taking fire from the left side, have just the left trackpad start to give me feedback that, hey, you're getting shot.
But this makes things like Metal Gear Solid 1 rumbling on the floor impossible. Damn it.
True. Very true. Very true. Bunny, what do you think about this controller?
For anyone who gets that reference, awesome.
I quite like it. I think it's quite a good idea. Like, it's more like for the newer gamers of the community and stuff, because obviously people who haven't grown up with controllers are like newer to the things. So, but I kind of like it. It's like reinventing the controller, and it's keeping to kind of the conventions of it, but like kind of making their own twist on it, which is quite nice. And I quite like the idea of the trackpads and the trackpad in the middle. I think that's a really good idea that you can use it as buttons.
Yeah.
And I've seen it's going to be working with Portal because they've already brought out what the Portal specs will be for the controller. So they're already working.
Just if you just scroll up for a second there, it actually says Eric's.
This is apparently a dev's personal settings for this.
Yeah, this is for someone, and this isn't specifically. Hey, this is the official one.
But it's going to be
sense for us to have a completely rebindable controller.
Yeah,
and it's. I mean, the Source engine allows for that. Either way.
Something interesting I just noticed. I was looking at these different graphics of the controller. The three raised areas, because they don't show as buttons, the three raised areas below the center trackpad, I wonder what that's about.
Yeah, it could be like the start menu or pausing the game.
Yeah,
or something
probably
like that.
something
more
like
that.
Just menu item sort of thing.
Probably.
When you usually have like start and select, probably something along those lines, and have like the touch screen in the middle be something like game specific things. No idea though. Can't only speculate on that. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm really pumped for this thing, and I definitely want to get my hands on it as fast as possible because I don't want to mess around with that thing.
Yeah.
Did you do the beta thing for the beta testing, Mike? Or you've been working?
No, I actually haven't yet. I was about to do it just before the stream, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, you were playing. For everybody who's
Yeah.
curious, it was about maybe a minute till the stream started, and we're trying to set up the Skype call, and Mike picks up, and I just hear frantic clicking, and still in game, still in game, still in game.
What were you playing? I don't even know what you were playing.
I was
League.
playing all meta random, and it was an incredible even game with like 40 minutes of all meta random, which is incredibly long actually. And I was carrying the team, so if I would have left, we would have lost.
Yeah.
Especially since it was a 4v5, because one of the guys decided, hey, let's join the game and not play.
Awesome.
We love those two
Absolutely
people.
amazing.
That reminds me, do I still... Yeah, I need to report him.
Oh my god. Alright, so we're all, I think, super, super excited about what Steam's got coming, so...
Yes.
I can't wait. I'm just super stoked. That brings us to something that we've waited a few weeks to talk about, and I really think that it'll probably be cool to bring it up now, because you've had some time. Yes, there it is.
He actually has it with him.
He has
Jesus
it with him,
Christ.
and it's
Put
on
it
Animal
down.
Crossing.
Put it down.
That's the last thing I played. I was actually just looking into my town, because I haven't been looking into... But I actually was playing this for quite a bit.
So, I'm a 3DS owner. I'm currently playing Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I have Fire Emblem, and I have Animal Crossing. Bunny's not. Mike's just gotten his. So, Mike, I got mine on launch day. I'm really curious to see what you think about yours.
I am amazed, actually. I was sort of skeptic about the 3D, but holy shit, that actually works quite well. And I get it that people are complaining about the 3D screen being sort of giving people a headache. Mm-hmm. But you get the same thing with stereo 3D with the glasses.
Yeah.
You have the same effect. It's the same thing, literally. Literally. I actually looked up how this thing actually works, and it's brilliant. It's like those, and there's multiple lenses arranged in a specific pattern. It's amazing. I like it.
How long did it take you to find your sweet spot for the 3D?
For the 3D, I started off really light, like on really low settings, to get used to it. Mm-hmm. And after a while, I actually realized, hey, I can punch it up to maybe half the setting.
Yeah.
So it's actually really nice, and it's a strong 3D effect, and I really enjoy it. And I enjoy playing with it, actually.
One thing I wanted to ask you is, because you've got two games that use the 3D in really radically different ways. Animal Crossing's 3D effect is completely different than the way Fire Emblem uses it. I personally really like the way Fire Emblem uses it. I think it's amazing. But that's just a beautiful game in general.
Honestly, I think for Animal Crossing, I like it because it's still this calm thing, and you get this depth of the world really well. So it brings something to the world instead of to the what you're doing. It brings more the world out. Whereas Fire Emblem more pushes you to realize what's happening, sort of intensifying it. It's really great. Although I have to say, in Fire Emblem, I'm not using 3D as much just because of the fast-moving scenes.
See, that's funny because I will not play Fire Emblem without the 3D on, but I very rarely use it in Animal Crossing.
I like it on both, especially for cutscenes, not so much. Although I enjoy watching it, but it's actually sort of draining for my eyes, so I'm putting it off mostly for the fast moving.
Draining on your battery.
Yeah, whatever. But for battle scenes and the actual gameplay, I like it because it makes the characters on the battlefield stand out more, and it's a nice feature.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm actually getting Pokemon Y on release.
Nice. You know what's really interesting as far as stuff for the 3DS goes, speaking of 3D, is Project Cross Zone, the crossover RPG between Sega, Capcom, and Konami. It uses sprite-based combat, and it does it in 3D, and it also has, when special attacks go off, it has hand-drawn animations that go over it. It's really weird. It's a great game, don't get me wrong, but it's really off-putting the first couple times you look at it in 3D. You're like, what? 3D, two-dimensional sprites?
But have you realized that Fire Emblem actually does the same thing?
Yeah, it does, but it's, I don't know. You can download a demo of Project Cross Zone and see it. It's
I haven't
different.
done it yet,
It's
but
different.
I'm getting it, getting the demo, looking it up.
And Mario and Luigi Dream Team also uses it in a really interesting way. If you get a chance, you should go back and play the Star Fox remake and the Ocarina of Time remake. They're really, really good.
Ocarina of Time remake is on my wish list. I'm probably gonna get it, but probably after Pokemon Y, just because I sort of want to save up.
See, and I'm not a
some
Poke
money.
player, so... Now, Bunny, you're kind of the odd man, woman, bunny, cat, dog thing out in this whole equation.
And has no clue what any of you are talking about, so I'm just sitting here daydreaming.
Well, I'm curious as to what you, as somebody who doesn't have one and really doesn't do a lot of handheld gaming, what you think about the 3DS concept in general.
I think it's quite good. I like it, and I think it'd be a good concept. I've done handheld gaming before. Like I had a DS, like an old DS.
The old fat boy
So I
DS.
So I understand the concept of handheld gaming. I would like to get Animal Crossing, but I'm not too sure on the price range and stuff. If it ever comes down a bit more, I would get it, but it's just the price range and affordability.
You could get a 2DS. It's cheaper.
No, fuck no. That thing is a nightmare. If I had to get a 2DS, I'd probably throw it out a window and kill somebody with it.
I'm not going to get into that tonight. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I personally I understand what Nintendo's doing with the idea. I also wonder initially why the person that came up with it wasn't drug out into the streets and shot. But you know what? If it gets Nintendo, if it keeps them rolling, because the Wii U's just having problems right now, more power to them. You know, more Nintendo gamers, good.
So. Yeah, I agree. Same thing. I understand the concept behind it and why it's done this way.
But I saw somebody. I was looking through some forum thread one day, and it's filled with just hatred and vitriol to the 2DS. But somebody made a point, and it is a good point. You, me, Bunny, the older gamers, we're not who Nintendo's marketing the 2DS to.
No, they're not. They're more marketing at kids, and it's. But I still think that personally, the 2DS might break easier with kids because the 3DS, at least you can close the lid. It can be small and it's kind of compact.
Oh.
With the 3DS, the 2DS, it's huge. And I'm worried that kids are going to smack each other around the head with it because they don't care. Like, they're sport brats.
To be fair, I have hit somebody with a GameCube before because it had that handy, handle on the back of it. So it's not just kids.
Actually, GameCube was the first thing I actually did for somebody else. I repaired a GameCube that was broken.
Did you have to take it all the way apart? Because the components were packed into that thing oh god, what a nightmare.
Notoriously not nodding my head.
Yeah, oh god.
Oh hell.
I
was really young, so this was my first sort of hands-on with hardware that didn't belong to me, so I was really nervous at that time.
Oh, I could imagine you're like, please don't break, please don't break.
Yeah. And I was really young then.
Ooh. Wait, you were young at one point? I thought you were always as you appear now.
Don't
look at me in that tone of voice.
Ignore my previous statement.
Alright, so, Mike, the overall verdict I think would be that you really like your 3DS.
Yes, I definitely agree. It's one of the best investments I've done.
Nice. And I will say for you, Mike visited my Animal Crossing town, and unlike some people who have visited my Animal Crossing town, he did not steal everything that wasn't nailed down.
Well, I don't like stealing everybody. Although I sold quite a bunch of shit in your town, as far as I remember. I think I took like one piece of fruit.
Yeah, well, I told you to take any of the fruit you wanted, so...
Yeah, something
It's
like
with
that.
this fruit thing, no offense, but what the hell? You go to other people's towns, they have different fruit to you, and then you steal it?
You take it and
No.
plant it so the
Yeah.
trees grow and give you fruit.
Because the hometown fruits don't sell for the high amount of price other fruits sell. So if you take your hometown fruit to another town, it's actually more pricey.
Yeah, so if I have, say my town grows peaches naturally and Mike's grows oranges, well, Mike comes to my town and gets a peach, takes it back and plants a tree and gets a peach tree. His peaches that he's growing sell for more than the oranges that are native to his town. And
'Cause they used
Animal
to...
Crossing is basically, for the first, 100 hours you play it, all about making money to pay off that bastard Tom Nook who will renovate your house. So...
God.
So why can't you just
Remind
not
me of
renovate
that.
your house? Just not renovate your house and just...
Because the
break
game
it
is
up.
constantly
You know,
shoving
actually-
new stuff down your throat.
Actually, I after a while I just started grinding on the island.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
This
that.
game has
Yeah.
grinding. What the hell? Let's get...
Animal Crossing has grinding, and it also... There's a lot of things in Animal Crossing that bother me, like how are those animals keeping couches and beds in their pockets?
Exactly.
Not
game is just
only
fucked
that.
up.
I mean, okay. I moved around stuff in my house once, and I just sort of stashed everything away in one of my things, cupboards,
Yeah.
and then just took every furniture in my entire house into my inventory, and I was like,
How is
wait,
that working?
How is that working?
Hermione, did you do that spelly thing with that bag you did in the last 2 movies?
Maybe your Animal Crossing inventory is secretly an alchemical bag from Tekkit Classic.
Maybe.
Maybe that. Maybe that.
Maybe. Which,
Maybe, and then you put-
segue,
Segway!
brings us to... Yes, you see what I did there. Haha,
I
sneaky,
did.
sneaky Digmbot.
Nice.
Brings us to our next topic, which is Minecraft. What's the new snapshot?
1 point... well, no, at the moment it's 13W39B.
Yes, because that makes perfect
Which
sense.
is-
Thank you, Mojang.
13W is the week thing. And, like, the counting weeks. It actually makes sense.
It doesn't make sense to me, so...
Yeah.
Okay, the layout was, 13W is the week. No, actually, 13 is the year, then week 39, beta. Okay, so it's
That actually makes
2013,
Ah!
week
Okay.
39, beta. Okay?
Actually makes sense.
The A snapshot is the alpha snapshot, B is the beta snapshot. Really simple naming scheme. Makes sense.
Also, why did the Minecraft go like 161, 162, 164? Why is there never a 160 and then 16? They just jump numbers they can't frigging count.
They actually, 163 was there, but they took it off immediately because there was a bug with village generation.
Oh, so they do have them, they just...
Yes, it's just usually you want to release like you change something in the backend code and you need to redeploy it for the update system. So you need to increase the version number. It's a really simple system.
Also, I appreciate that little poem they have here, the I'm a little snapshot short and stout thing. Did you not see that yet, Mike?
What? No.
I'm a little
What?
snapshot short and stout. Here's my screenshot, and here's my fatal corruption in class SXQ cannot continue.
Oh yeah.
So, Mojang is nothing if not ever entertaining. So,
They're a funny bunch.
I
Honestly, Evil Seth, I actually met him on Minecon last year, and he's a really cool dude to hang around. Like, Evil Seth, for those of you who don't know, is the Bucket guy who initially made Bucket and then got hired by Mojang.
Well.
For the API, which they're currently attacking over the last year. People don't see API, hey, API out. No, it just doesn't work like that. There's actually a reason for that, because like once something is in an API, you shouldn't remove it for quite a while. So they're taking it slow.
Here's what we can do with this. I just play Minecraft, literally. Mike has helped me install many a thing in my Minecraft client because I'm too derpy to do it. So, Bonnie, yes, Mike, you probably know more about this snapshot than I do, so I'm just going to sit back for a second. Go ahead.
Oh my god, they started doing a lot of shit with 1.7, a lot of backend shit, which a lot of people won't ever notice because they don't look at the code, but it's actually very important. For example, hey, all those blocks that Minecraft has, they used to be hard-coded into the code. You couldn't change it. And now they're dynamically registering everything. So stuff like stone IDs and stuff like that, that's gonna disappear. So we need a community that build on that system, like Voxel Sniper, or I don't know, any plugin or mod that interacts with item IDs needs to change their system in order for it to still work.
That actually leads me to a question real quick. For those that don't know, Mike is part of the team that develops Voxel Mod or Voxel Sniper?
I'm actually a team of both now since we joined recently.
Okay. My question is this change making your lives easier in the long run or harder? I'm sure converting over to the new system is probably causing you some work, but in the long run, will it be easier or harder?
Okay, so it's creating a lot of work, especially for the mods, because they have to sort of directly access a lot of stuff, while as my life is sort of easy through Bucket. They provide a stable API for that. Right. In the short run, it's gonna make it difficult because we need to think about, hey, how do we do the things we do on the new system? We have to actively predict things they're doing right now. On the long run, it's going to make it a whole lot better because we can do things we never could do before. We can do things more efficient and in a cleaner way. And hell, if Minecraft's code is getting more sexy, I'm just fancy-pantsing out.
Didn't Mike just say code is sexy?
Yes,
did Mike just say that?
He did.
Yes. Yes.
That does happen.
Yes.
I like in the new snapshot for like the new biomes and stuff, and new things they're adding to the game. So like they're adding like clay biomes, if I remember correctly. They're adding like shit on birds, and they're changing the way the terrain is built as well. Like they can change it to like I don't know, it's like super high mode where all the biomes are like
that's just parameterizing that world generator. But honestly, it's awesome. I actually went with Mumphrey. Mumphrey, you probably know from Light Mod and the macros mod and shit like that. If you ever used Voxel Mod Pack, you probably used half of, like almost all of his mods. And what was my point? Right.
You've completely lost your train of thought, haven't you?
Just for a second. We actually went and explored some of the new code. And that was in a snapshot where they actually had the Mesa biome fucked up and it didn't generate properly.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Also, there's delicious food in the background because I've completely fucked up the background.
Wait. I've got to see this. I'm not even over the stream because I have it. Fake stream.
Oh, that's good.
I lost my screen region for the background, so I just completely screwed everything up. Anyways.
Amazing. Okay. Anyways, so we explored actually, and I like the new terrain generation. It's more versatile, more pretty, and it just looks overall better. Yeah, it does. Another thing coming in 1.7 actually. You guys, you probably set up a server before, a Minecraft server, right?
Yeah, I have.
I have to.
Okay. Do you know how to whitelist people?
Yes.
You know the famous whitelist txt file
Yes. Damn.
where
Yes.
you
That,
yeah. So you put in the player names in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna disappear.
Really?
Yes, they are changing the system to something they should have done about 15 versions ago.
And that would be.
Last year. They're changing player identification to UUIDs, or universally unique identifiers, which is like a random, in quote, random character string.
Mm-hmm.
Which means some admins, like, I don't know, the Voxelbox, for example, who use plugins that use player names for identifications, have to change and migrate all that data. I know of one server that has data on about 1 million players, which means 1 million player names need to be converted from player name to unique, universal unique identifier.
Oh God.
And that's gonna be a pain in the arse. Don't get me even started on that.
every time
Holy shit.
I
love the way the
glad
Aftermath
Minecraft
server
keeps
doesn't-
evolving. So
I love
I
the
like
way
it.
the Aftermath
They
server
should have
doesn't
done
need
it
the whitelist all the
a
time.
while ago. Seriously. Just didn't.
all right, I'm looking at the time real quick, so I'm gonna move us on to the next topic real quick. This is one that Bunny has no experience. Bunny, how did we get so many topics you have no experience with? Can you play more games, please?
I do! I play completely different games, don't be friggin' lie. I don't do FPS shooters, I do
know.
pretty artsy games. Shut up.
Pretty artsy games. Is that what you call it?
I was playing Rias the other day, and that was a kind of pretty artsy strategy game.
I'm gonna refrain from pointing out that I did that like 6 months ago.
I've been playing it since, like, July, but yeah.
I like that awkward silence in between.
Anyways, as I fix the background in a very derpy fashion. Doop, doop, doop. Anyways, the next thing that we had up was a game that Mike has spent some time with. I have spent considerable time with. Hawken.
You're addicted to it.
I am not addicted to it. I just really enjoy it.
If Hawking had a timer of how much you played, I'm guessing your time must be in the 200 hours. Even more.
Actually, it does have a timer, and my playtime is not even out of the 30-hour range yet, so...
Yes, but didn't all the player data reset?
Nope.
Nope.
So...
Damn.
Yeah,
You have played...
that one.
Okay, that's not as bad as me playing Civ, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm putting it up in the background right now. Hawken is a free-to-play mech FPS game. It is much, much slower than, say, the MechWarrior Online game that just came out, which I was going to download until I watched some footage of it and was like, oh my god, mechs in slow motion, I can't take this. It's a very fun game. One thing that I appreciate about it is that being a free-to-play game, it has the potential for them to put a lot of pay-to-win crap in there, which they did not do. All the mechs can be unlocked through play, through earning XP, all the upgrades. About the only thing that really you need to pay real money for, and even then you can now unlock them eventually on your own, is cosmetic items, such as taunts and paint jobs for your mechs and little different ornamental parts like legs and arms and things like that. It's a really, really fun game. It's people hear me say this and kind of wonder, well, why do you say that? It's a pretty game despite running on the Unreal Engine, because the Unreal Engine while it is a workhorse of the game industry these days, think about all the problems. You see a game where a character model loads and then the textures slowly fade in. You immediately should know that's Unreal Engine. It's just got its fair share of issues, but this game really does look good and run well for being an Unreal Engine and a free-to-play game. It's got great support from developers, and I highly enjoy it, but my big thing with it is they haven't gone with the pay-to-win model. And one thing they've recently done is each mech has its own experience pool, Mike, and as you earn experience, say I max out my sharpshooter, my sniper mech, well, it continues to earn XP. It's going on in the background right now on the video. That XP that it earns becomes overflow XP that I can then transfer to another lower level mech. So, if I want to play around with my sharpshooter because I think the map calls for it, I don't get penalized for playing with it and having XP that gets wasted.
Nice. That's actually a really good change. I only played the new patch, the Ascension patch, for like 30 minutes or so alone. So I didn't really experience a whole lot of Ascension. So I like the new UI, however.
Yeah.
It looks a nice game.
One thing I also like about it is the dev team is really, really big on keeping in touch with the community and listening to the community, and also owning up to it when they screw up. The Ascension playtest that we've been talking about is a brand new overhaul of the game that just came out, and what you did is you could sign up for it, and it was a separate server from everything. None of your progress that you earned there went towards the actual game, but it was a stress test for the servers. And everybody that joined it was to get a 7-day double XP pass, which is a pretty big deal for a game like this. But they had a bunch of server problems that weekend, so after we all got our 7-day XP passes, about 3 days later they sent an email that basically said, hey, you signed up for this playtest, then the servers were borked all weekend, that really sucks, so here's another 3-day experience pass because we screwed up.
Just to give you 10 days of experience pass. That's
I think that's a really, of course it costs them nothing, but it just shows the devs actually care about the community behind this game.
So. Well, it sort of costs them because you can buy those things.
Well, yeah, I guess technically
in a way, but yeah. I mean, I know what you mean, and honestly, I like it so far, and before that, I even liked it before that, and it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's won a lot of Best in Show awards and blah, 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 but I really just like the concept of the game, because I'm an old school Mech Warrior player, all the way back to the really, really shady looking Mech Warrior games, and when I first saw this game, I immediately started to geek out like crazy. So,
Can you geek out about everything?
Not really. What's that game that we're talking about next? I didn't geek out about that at all. Sorry.
Yeah.
She's gonna kill us.
Yes!
Anyways,
something like that.
But, yeah, Mike, you've played it. I think you had a pretty good time with it when you did play it. So.
Well, I'm quite versatile in competitive plays. I played a bunch of RTS, OBA, and FPSs, like Counter-Strike Source.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I played that for quite a while in the European esports league.
Yes, Bunny, we know.
So I came into the game and sort of already had a feel of how to play it and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And, I mean, they do a really good job of making you feel like you're a big-ass mech stomping around.
Indeed, especially, like, with the rotation and like, the view changes are actually decelerated most of the time.
Yeah. I like it. I'm going to push us on to the final topic, and I'll go ahead while I set it up in the background and let Bunny introduce this, because it is time for everybody's favorite segment, Bunny's Fucked Up Game of the Week. Bunny?
Oh, it moved. Hello. I found this one the other day while browsing Steam, as I do before the podcast. And this game's called Bunny Must Die, Chelsea and the Seven Devils.
Note the first 3 words. Bunny must die.
It's about a bunny who has cat ears, if I remember correctly, so very close to me. And it's kind of a platformer. It's 2D, which is quite cool, and all the graphics hand drawn, and it's a very over the top, comical kind of style of game. I quite like the look of it. It's very good. It's like, let's see, I've got the trailer up now. Yeah, I quite like the look of it. It looks, yeah, I've been cast apparently.
Now, to be fair, this
yeah,
game is not actually about you.
No. Well, it could be, you know.
My
Map revenge,
question
like,
is this going to be
No,
one
I
of those
don't think
tough
you-
as nails platformers, or because it kind of needs to be. Also, what's up with
Yeah,
that
if it's-
cat?
It's also wearing a very,
It
very
kinda looks
Japanesey kind of outfit.
Yeah, it looks very over the top Japanese.
Yeah. I quite like
that's the only trailer for it, so I don't know what to say about this game except that it looks absolutely insane. I will probably give it a try just because.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah. I mean, if it's gonna be there, it needs to be tough as nails, like really punishing 2D platformer, sort of really
It
over the
looks very-
top bullet hell sort of
Like-
It
thing.
looks really punishing.
Like Meat Boy level.
Yeah, oh,
Yes,
boy.
yes.
I've never played it, but it looks.
Oh my god! Now I
punishing as
want to play Super Meat Boy again. God damn it!
Sorry. My fault. Also, don't mind me. I'm totally not loading Cookie Clicker in the background.
hell. Yes, you are. I can see it.
I broke that game in less than 5 minutes.
I'm
Yeah, it's
awful.
might hack the game.
totally not playing Cookie Clicker while the podcast is still going on. I do not have a problem with cookies. I'm perfectly fine. Leave me alone. I'm not frantically clicking. I don't know what you people are talking about.
Dime, you have a problem with cookies.
Hey, Dime.
Yes.
I think
yes.
we have about 2 minutes left. Do you want to talk about our sort of topic we thought of? It starts with they and Z, and then I say me rolling.
Disney man rolling.
They see me rolling.
Yeah, well, you know, that's also kind of a joke with Mike and I playing, because I'll make my character go prone and then roll around Mike and ask him if he sees me rolling. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well-
So they
We're both DayZ players. The 1.8 patch just came out, and we've been having some fun with it.
I actually like the
Still-
direction they're going with it. Honestly, although some things might be a little bit derpy, but that's per usual in DayZ. I mean, if you're gonna play derpy, you're gonna play derpy. If you're gonna play serious, you're gonna play serious.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's your world. Well, it's actually not your world. You're sort of just stranded in that world, and it's Maniac.
This is true. This is
Yeah,
Streamception.
Oh my goodness!
I was looking for
Damn.
something.
Dime,
yeah,
I
speaking
think you
of-
have a problem. I think we need to stop this cookie madness.
Speaking of derpy and DayZ, the derpy jump. Oh my god.
Oh my god! Yes, that's actually something that came earlier in another DayZ mod, and they sort of took that over as far as I remember. And a lot of people sort of didn't like that jump, but they put it in anyways. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what about the fact that a big deal for those that don't play DayZ is how much you can be heard and how visible you are because of the zombies. Well, we discovered that when you do this particular jump, even though you are going fully erect and leaving the ground, your hearing and your audible level and your visibility level drop to 0 for some reason. You are actually less likely to be detected while doing this jump than if you were crawling through the grass.
This might actually be another thing, though. I think there's some I don't think this is really the case because, as far as I remember, you actually get a higher detection rate after the jump or something like that.
Right. You should.
I don't know.
You should.
But yes, we did, if you watch the video on Dime's channel where we just derped around while testing out the new patch, was literally like we just noticed when you vault at like the in run vault, it's doing this weird. Hey, you're less loud and you have less visibility, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Whoa, big my face. Dime, there's a big my face on the screen. No.
What? How did... That's... Oh, derp.
Streamception.
Yeah, it's...
Oh boy.
I was going to link our channels.
Oh god, I haven't done anything on my channel. I still need to do the StarCraft. I don't get around to doing anything currently.
You can find us by searching for Mike Matrix, Bunny McG, or Dimebot on YouTube. Once again, Dimebot, Mike Matrix, or Bunny McG. Which,
well,
I have to.
it's
Google's
can search
fault, not mine. Just let's say it's Google's fault.
Yeah, you can search me, but my username is slightly different.
Yeah, he's got a weirder username than I have.
well,
Yeah.
I'm on your feature. I'm looking at my featured channels right now because you're featured on mine, and you list as Mike Matrix, so you can be found that way.
I list as my... I'm actually not sure if you can find my channel straight away with Mike Matrix.
Well, I'll search and find out. Mike
I'm gonna test that right now. Right the fuck now.
Did you mean Mike Matrix? Okay, fine. You can't find him easily that way.
So you go to Dimebot's channel and then find our two channels.
Actually, my first one of my videos is featured as the fifth result after Mike Matrix, so you can find me as yeah, exactly that link.
Mike Matrix or Mother of All Bombs. That's right, folks. Mike is what happens when you get 20-something kills in Call of Duty without using another kill streak.
You know, the reference is actually from Command and Conquer Generals.
Yes, yes. Although I think it would be hilarious if like somebody did that in COD and you just ran out and just everybody died.
So,
Just
so
the
Mike's
screen,
name is worse than my YouTube name.
the
So
screen
it's
got
fine.
taken over with a giant message that says you have been voxel sniped.
To be honest, I don't like that username. And that username was created when I was really young. I think 2007, as far as I remember.
Oh my god,
I mean,
2000.
that's 6 years ago.
Yes.
We were like, no, let's figure this out.
I was almost 30 then.
Well,
No, you're just-
6 years ago, so I'm 21.
20.
So I
You're
was 15, yes. I was
Yes.
15 and was playing Command and Conquer's Generals. And I liked the freaking Mother of All Bombs. And I sort of thought, hey, let's create a YouTube account and name us Mother of All Bombs because that makes sense.
Is it bad that at that time I hardly touched a game console?
It wasn't a console, it was... I remember playing Command and Conquer Generals and Battlefield 2 a lot.
So I think Dimes just had enough of us.
I don't even know. This has gone so far off the rails, it's not even funny. So
I think we're actually over the time limit already.
we are.
So
I think we should end like we usually do. Mike, can you give us the outro, please?
The outro? Which
You know what I'm talking about.
Which outro are you talking about?
That'll work.
No, Mike, bad Mike.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching the Dimecast with Dimebot, Mike Matrix, and my pink bunny.